I am Peter, a person always curious and passionate about uncovering mysteries. I thought I had prepared myself for everything, but I was wrong. That day I stumbled upon a nameless book. Inside were faded, old letters, but what I read made it impossible for me to stop. It spoke of a parallel world, a place where everything is not as we imagine. And then, I did something I should have never done. I performed the ritual. Before I realized it, everything around me had changed. This world looked like mine. But there was something very different. Everything was eerily silent, as if time had stopped. Not a single person, not a single sound. Then I saw a piece of paper fall from nowhere. It read, "Never turn your back when you hear your name being called." At that very moment, I heard my name being called. It echoed from somewhere behind me, like a whisper, but sharp as a blade. I remembered the first rule, and my heart raced. As much as I wanted to turn around, I knew I couldn't. The whisper grew closer, as if it was just one step behind me. But I couldn't turn around. I wasn't allowed to. I kept walking, feeling like time stretched on forever. And then, it stopped. But I knew. I had just escaped a danger beyond my imagination. This was only the first rule. And I began to understand that what awaited me was far more terrifying. After escaping the first danger, I knew this place wasn't just a game. Everything in this parallel world had a purpose, and if I didn't follow the rules, the price would be terrifying. I realized that every place I passed contained a new rule. These rules weren't to protect me, but to keep me within a boundary I wasn't allowed to cross. Never look into a mirror after 3 a.m. I didn't know why this rule existed, but when I looked into that mirror, I instantly understood it wasn't just simple advice. The reflection of me, no, that wasn't me. It was smiling, a twisted, grotesque smile, as if mocking me. I didn't dare stay any longer. I felt the cold creeping into my bones, like something was watching my every move. Never eat food from this world. Time in this world seemed non-existent, but the hunger was real. I saw a food stall with dishes that smelled so delicious, as if they had been waiting for me all along. A woman offered me a pastry. Starving, I almost took a bite, but then the second rule echoed in my mind. I immediately stopped and threw the pastry to the ground. As soon as it hit the floor, it turned into a swarm of writhing maggots. The woman vanished as if she had never existed. I escaped, but this time it was dangerously close to the line between life and death. Never trust anyone in this world. As I continued my journey, I met a man. He claimed to know the way out of this world. He called himself a guide, someone who had once been here and found a way back. There was something strange about his voice. But when you're in this situation, you want to believe anything that could save you. However, just before I decided to follow him, another piece of paper appeared before me, as if out of nowhere. The paper had only one line, "He is one of them." I shuddered and stepped back. The man began to transform right before my eyes. He was no longer human, but a monstrous creature with sharp teeth. Screaming in rage as I ran away, I escaped again, but at a great cost. I realized this place didn't just want me to follow the rules, it was testing my trust. Each time I met someone, I had to question whether they were truly human or just another trap. What I've been through made me realize that this world isn't just another dimension. It's a place created from nightmares where every rule is designed to keep you in fear. But I also understood that I can't stay here forever. I must find a way out before it's too late. I know that the further I go, the more dangerous the rules become, but I have no other choice. Each step is a gamble with my life. When I turned around, everything around me seemed to freeze. The world I thought I had returned to turned out to be a fragile shell, hiding a terrifying truth. This was no longer the place I once knew. It had changed, or perhaps I had changed. I looked into the mirror and I saw myself, but it wasn't me. It was a version of me, distorted, twisted by the madness and horror I had endured. I realized that this world hadn't just changed on the outside. It had changed inside my mind as well. I touched the mirror, but it was no longer a cold, lifeless surface. It was alive, it sensed me. And then, I felt it. A sharp pain, as if it was trying to pull me inside. Blood. Drops of blood fell, as if it was draining the very life from me. I knew I couldn't let this continue. I had to escape this house, escape the trap that the parallel world had set for me. Every door I opened led me back to the starting point. It was as if I was running through a maze with no exit, imprisoned in my own home, or at least something very much like it. Then, I saw it. A small mirror on the wall with blood-stained writing. The answer lies in the reflection. I knew it was a clue, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to know the truth behind the mirror. But I had no choice. I had to face it, the truth I had been avoiding. I looked into the eyes of my reflection, and then I stepped through. I felt the cold envelop me as I passed into the mirror. It wasn't a door, but a threshold leading to another world, a place with no light, no time. Only emptiness and endless horror. In the darkness, I found another door. Was this the way out, or just another trap? I didn't know, but I had no other option. When I opened the door, light flooded around me. But instead of safety, I felt an overwhelming terror. This light wasn't salvation. It was judgment. In that room, all the rules appeared, glowing brightly like sentences of judgment. Each rule was a reminder of what I had gone through and what I had broken. In the center of the room, an empty chair awaited me, as if that was where I was meant to face my fate. I sat down, and immediately, everything began to change. The space around me shook, and the symbols on the walls started to move, merging together into a shape, a being.
You have broken the rules, and now you will face the consequences.
I have broken the rules, and now I must face the consequences. But I have discovered the truth. And the truth is, this world never wanted us to leave. It holds us tightly with its rules. And those rules are only part of a larger game. But I am no longer afraid. Because I know that, no matter the outcome, I have faced the truth. And sometimes, the truth is scarier than any rule.